If you think about the abilities of gods according to various mythologies, we are now acquiring these abilities to ourselves. Like in the Bible, God is the creator. His chief power is to create. He creates animals and plants and humans according to his wishes. Now we are gaining this power to create life, just like God, and in a way we even go beyond the biblical God. Because even if you believe the Bible, the only thing God managed to create are organic beings. All these trees and giraffes and humans, they are just organic. But we are now trying to create inorganic entities, inorganic life forms, cyborgs, artificial intelligence, and so forth. If we succeed, and there is a very good chance we will, then very soon we will be beyond the God of the Bible.
يا أيها الناس ضرب مثل فاستمعوا له إن الذين تدعون من دون الله لن يخلقوا ذبابا ولو اجتمعوا له وإن يسلبهم الذباب شيئا لا يستنقذوه منه ضعف الطالب والمطلوب ما قدروا الله حق قدره إن الله لقوي عزيز.
See, all of the sciences we have to understand. So this is the problem that we have. I mentioned before the scientific method, and our ilm of the dunya emanates from Allah's names and His attributes, right? So our ilm of this dunya, we refer it back to Allah, His names and His attributes. So all of our sciences should be built upon that, right? I'm going to give you an example of what I mean. If I give this example, you know exactly what I mean. Then I will move to, the social sciences. So I'm going to give you an example to show how that if we do not make Allah's names and His attributes the basis for our ilm, whether it is agriculture, biology, human biology, and so on and so forth, we are going to fall into the snares of the people of disbelief. So the example I want to give you is illness and disease, right? We operate on the premise that Allah Azza wa Jal has created the insan, has created biological life with absolute precision, with meaning. It is perfect to the extent that Allah wants it to be perfect in the human, right? Not that Allah made a perfect human, because Allah, we don't have perfect vision, we don't have perfect hearing, we will die, right? This is by design that Allah has created biological life to be like this. But that's part of the perfection in Allah's creation, if you know what I mean, right? That Allah has created like this. Within that scheme of creation, we start the man is healthy, fit, right? And illness is an arad, right? It's something that comes to him for reasons, for whatever reasons. And when he has symptoms of illness, those symptoms of illness are the body's attempt to return back to the normal state, right? So when we see the a'rad of an illness, a cough, a sneeze, a high fever, diarrhea, being sick, for example, these to us, they are biologically meaningful. There is a wisdom and a purpose behind that. So to give an example, very, very briefly, the fever, we know, it heats up the body to rapidly increase the rate of whatever the body is trying to do. You might get diarrhea because the body is basically saying, if you could imagine the body speaking to itself, it would be something like, okay, Commander so-and-so in the bowels, could you just open the doors please, because we need to preserve all of the energy to eliminate these toxins or to repair the lungs or whatever. So could you please release the bowels, empty all of that. We're not going to be expending energy on that. We need the bacteria, we need the enzymes, whatever. Release that and make sure that you do that each time that there's any food or whatever, right? So the body is intelligently communicating with itself to perform these biologically meaningful symptoms and processes. Likewise, it will say, okay, you there in the stomach, Commander so-and-so, if you see anything coming down the gut, just stimulate the sickness, because we do not want to be preoccupied with the body again having to undergo the expenditure of the energy while we are trying to restore the body back to to heal it, right? So you'll try to eat something, you'll be sick, you can't even have water, you'll be sick. This is not a flaw in Allah's creation, right? This is not like haphazard creation. No, this is biologically meaningful, intended for a purpose with wisdom, right? A cough, a sneeze, all these other things, they have biological meanings. Okay, so if we start on that premise, if we start on that basis, then we will see disease in a certain way, right? And this then affects our iman and the actions that we take and whatever, right? But now let's come to the kuffar and the crass materialist pseudosciences. They claim that man, the premise here, that man is a haphazardly created being over millions of years through mutations, and there are lots of inherent flaws that have been programmed into his DNA over the millions and millions of years, and illness and disease is simply a manifestation of that, and is part and parcel of the evolutionary process, right? So the fact that someone's having a fever, and the fact that someone's all of this is just the Darwinian imperfect natural selection process, whatever, right? And so therefore we need to, and then they will have a certain type of medicine that they believe in, that we are going to manipulate the mRNA, and this because we're trying to genetically engineer and change this imperfect, deficient, haphazardly created. So can you see how, if you do not make the names of Allah and His attributes to be the foundation of every ilm, just like Ibn al-Qayyim said, right? All ilm, the believers, the khawas among the believers, they make istidlal by way of Allah's names and attributes for the creation, not the other way around. What is the common believer just looks at the creation and he makes istidlal and says, oh yeah, this Allah is the powerful, Allah is the all-knowing, Allah is the wise. They make istidlal from the created things to the creator, whereas the deeply rooted people of Tawheed, they learn about the creation from the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? So if we don't build our sciences and they are not guided by Tawheed, Allah's names and attributes, we will start falling into these types of predicaments, right? Where we are affected, or we can't see that, for example, Darwinism is the actual foundation of all biology. Right? You cannot do biology without Darwinism. So you cannot understand disease and whatever except through Darwinism. That's how it's all built. So when Muslims go and they go to the Western universities to learn these things, they may not realize it, and they may not even be taught it like directly or consciously, but everything they are learning is framed within that kind of materialist, kufri type of kind of paradigm of, and then implicitly you accept without even thinking and realizing some of these basic presumptions or assumptions, right? So what I'm saying here really, and to lead on, is really that the disbelievers, their sciences, in contrast to the sciences of the Quran, they are there to bring benefit to us, for us to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to liberate us from enslavement to the creation, to bring us to that which is wholesome and tayyib, and away from that which is khabith, and to nurture and refine the nafs and the manners, right? This is what the ulum of the Sharia, what they do. The ulum of the kuffar, especially now in the 19th, 20th, 21st century, there's actually a direction behind them, right? And that direction, this is something that's very, very clear and very apparent, and they write it in their books, and maybe I wanted to mention this in the talk, but I'll conclude with this. This is the secret to understanding these people, the elite of these people, right? And it's like this. when Iblis was expelled and he came back to whisper to Adam alayhi salam, he whispered 4 things. He said that your Lord did not prohibit you ما نهاكما ربكما عن هذه الشجرة إلا أن تكونا ملكين أو تكونا من الخالدين. Your Lord did not prevent you from this tree except so that you don't become angels or that you don't live in eternity. And he also said, يا آدم هل أدلك على شجرة الخلد وملك لا يبلى. O Adam, shall I direct you to a tree of eternity and to a dominion that will never ever perish. Okay, this basic call to deceive Adam alayhi salam, right, where you can become a god, you can become angelic, you can live forever, you can have a dominion that will never end, right? This is the foundation of the religion of these people at the top who are the allies of Iblis, right? This is what they actually believe. The atheists, they're not up there. They're not up there doing everything. The atheist is an idiot down here, right? He's far below here. These people, they know that there's an invisible force that can be tapped into. Shayateen, jinn, right? They collaborate with the jinn. They ally with Iblis. And Iblis has deceived them just like he tried to deceive Adam alayhi salam, right? They have this religion, and this is where all of the, like I said, the British Royal Society and the Freemasonic, elite kind of circles, they have constructed the whole modern scientific enterprise, and it's going in a certain direction. And that direction is that they believe, they've been misled by shaitan to believe that we, by studying through science, we are going to eventually discover the secrets to life, the secrets to eternal life, the secrets to becoming gods, right? Because once you understand biological life and you're able to subdue it, it brings a tremendous amount of power, right? So they see themselves becoming like aliha, who can command and prohibit, and right? So all of the sciences of the kuffar, right? They are in this trajectory. That's where it's basically going, right? So whether it's like in the social sciences, there's a lot of it's behavioral psychology and how to manipulate people and understand their behavior and how do you nudge them and how do you this and how do you create values in people and how do you undermine values in people and how it's all geared towards this general idea that we will discover the secrets to life, we will break the code of biology and everything, we will then start to hack it and control it, then we ourselves will become the creators, right? They are explicitly stating this. I'm not making this up. This guy, this Israeli homosexual called Yuval Harari. He's like a wizard. He's like a spiritual spokesman for these people, for these elites. And he's openly explaining these kind of things, that this is what the technology is going to do and whatever. So they want to hack into the biology of life, as they claim. But they are deceived in all of this, right? So don't think that, oh yes, we should be scared of these. No. They are deceived by shaitan. And their sciences are pseudosciences. And yes, they do have some understanding, but they are unable. They know that it's impossible for them. For example, to create biological life from nothing, it's a dead end, right? They've admitted it, right? To create these so-called biological weapons that they're talking about, when they engineer viruses, all of this is nonsense, is not true, right? They know they can't do it, but it's just a scare and fear tactic, right? So many things they know they are false, but they fund them and whatever just to maintain that illusion and to scare people and to control people. Some things they know are true, but those things are not communicated to us, right? They keep that knowledge to themselves. For example, how can you prevent aging by there's like these telomeres at the end of like certain DNA, and you cap them or something. There's something that they know that it plays a role in anti-aging, so they're not going to offer that to me, you, and whatever. It'll be for the very rich elite people, right? They'll keep that for themselves. You understand? So what I'm saying is, whether it's the social sciences or whatever, there is a trajectory in motion, right, with these people where they want to lead things, and these sciences are simply an ala, like a tool to that end. That doesn't mean that there isn't benefit within these sciences, because we don't want anyone to walk away and think, totally no. We accept the truth from whomever it comes, right? Whether it's about the religion or whether it's about Allah's creation, we don't deny or dismiss any of that.